Especially when the victim was the head of this police station. His name was Takatsukasa Isamu, the younger brother of Takatsukasa Susumu, head of the Takatsukasa clan. He was really one of a kind, decisive, brave, and smart. He was much younger than me, and already had quite a reputation. I'm sure he would have gone far in the Tenryou Commission, if only he was still alive. What a shame. Who would have guessed someone was plotting against him? People will believe anything they hear. Everyone in the police station knew that Ryuji saw Takatsukasa Isamu like a father. Ryuji was an orphan, you know. Before he joined the station, he had been taking odd jobs here and there. It was Isamu who really took him under his wing. Ryuji was simple and not particularly bright, but he was very loyal to those who treated him well. He's also hard-working. Isamu must have seen these qualities in him and decided to keep Ryuji by his side. Ryuji worked with him for years after that, and was even promoted to be his personal assistant. Do you really think Ryuji would do anything to harm him?
So, then why was Ryuji convicted? Even Paimon can tell that's a mistake.
Well, here comes the interesting part of the case. Within a week, and before all the loose ends had even been tied up, Ryuji received his conviction. Moreover, it was signed by Madame Kujo Sara.
What? Why would Sara do something like that?
I'm getting older now, and my eyesight is poor. I can't see too clearly anymore.
Hey, come on, Yoriki Owada, there's nothing to see. It's obvious that the Kujo clan did it.
You can't just go around saying things like that, Wisuki. Those were just hearsay. There was no evidence.
That's not true. Traveler, you may be unaware that the Takatsukasa clan has always been assisting the Kujo clan in the Tenryou Commission. But who doesn't want to be the boss, right? And Takatsukasa Isamu was the key figure for the Takatsukasa clan to bring down the Kujo clan. At that time, no one was held in higher regard than Isamu. So, naturally, the Kujo clan saw him as a potential threat. Kujo Takayuki must have been planning it all along, that rascal. Takayuki is able to control the Takatsukasa clan as long as he's in power. But by the time he retires, Isamu would have been at the apex of his political power, while Masahito and Kamaji of the Kujo clan would still have been too young. The two of them wouldn't stand a chance against Isamu. You think Kujo Takayuki would simply sit back while Isamu gained traction? So he decided to strike first.
You youngsters and your conspiracy theories.
No, it's true. It's the only way to explain it. Otherwise, why would an impartial person like Madame Kujo Sara sign Ryuji's conviction so quickly? They had to find a scapegoat to pacify the Takatsukasa clan, so Kujo Takayuki must have told her to sign it immediately. I'm not accusing Madame Kujo Sara of anything, mind you. I respect her very much. But maybe she had no other choice.
What do you know? I'm sure Madame Kujo Sara must have had her own reasons. The guy was a forensic expert who worked in the station named Shiroyama. I have to admit, he wasn't easy to track down. That Sango really is something, though. She caught him without even breaking a sweat. It turned out that after poisoning Isamu, Shiroyama secretly took the poison to Ryuji's place in order to frame him. Later on, the poison was also found in the forensic office, but that was already after Shiroyama's death. He confessed everything in a testament.
That's right. He hung himself in the forensic office not long after Sango was on his trail. Probably because he knew it was only a matter of time before he would be caught. Of course, he didn't admit whether he had been prompted by Kujo Takayuki. He took the responsibility alone. I bet Kujo Takayuki promised him a sizable compensation. After all, Shiroyama had a family to feed.
There you go again, pulling conclusions out of thin air. There wasn't any evidence of that at all.
Listen, I can almost guarantee that it was the Takatsukasa clan who invited Sango to investigate. We all knew that Ryuji was just a scapegoat. You think the Takatsukasa clan wouldn't figure that out? They're not stupid. So, they were suspicious of the Kujo clan and invited Sango to take the case. However, the Kujo clan were still a step ahead and were able to remove themselves from the situation before the whole thing blew up. They drove Shirayama to take all the blame as well as his own life. A perfectly clean cut for the Kujo clan. With Shirayama dead, there was no one left to testify. Even the Electro Archon herself wouldn't be able to do anything.
You make up stuff faster than a politician. It's a wonder nobody's asked you to be an advisor yet.
Hey, that's their loss.
The whole thing is starting to sound complicated.
Hey, I brought the files. I bet you got quite an earful just now, huh? But don't believe everything they say. After all, people can tell you anything, and it's hard to separate truth from rumors without facts. So what really matters is the case files. Everything laid out here is all that the police station has about the case. Please, take a look. Remember, you may find many clues during an investigation, but not all of them are useful. And in some cases, the clues you will find will not only be useless, but downright misleading. Also, if a clue cannot corroborate anything on its own, you can always compare it with other clues, and maybe then you'll find what you're looking for. Okay, that should just about do it. I'm looking forward to your results.
Hold on. What actually counts as a result?
Usually, you need to find two things from these clues: a proven motive and proven means. Once you can confirm these two things, the criminal can be proven guilty. All right, you can go ahead and get started now. I look forward to hearing your verdict.
Hey, Traveler. Investigating a case isn't so easy, is it? Don't worry, I'll tell you all you need to know. Huh, Sango? The Takatsukasa clan really hired an amazing detective, didn't they? She comes to the station to submit applications every now and then, and has been constantly requesting to reinvestigate the Ryuji case. But Heizou has always prevented her from doing so. I really didn't expect that she'd go as far as writing a complaint letter, though. Phew, she's relentless. As for why Heizou Senpai has been keeping her away from the case, I think he's afraid that Sango would be putting herself in danger. After all, we're talking about the murder of an important man. That can be deep water if you're not careful. Sango may run a detective agency, but in the end, she's just an ordinary person. Well, not exactly. I've pretty much seen them argue every time they meet. But Heizou might still consider her as an old friend. I heard that he used to work with Sango. Sometimes he'd ask me to hand over less pressing cases to the detective agency. I guess he just wants to support Sango's business. Heizou Senpai is a good person, there's no doubt about that.
Don't take anything Uesugi says too seriously. Just nod along. Oh, that. Well, let me see. Ryuji saw Takatsukasa Isamu as his foster father, that's for sure. But I can't say whether Isamu helped Ryuji without expecting anything in return. After all, Isamu was a resourceful person. A simple and naive person like Ryuji wouldn't ever be suitable as an advisor, but he could certainly be a loyal and trustworthy aide. Isamu was expecting a child of his own later, but unfortunately, he was killed before the child was ever born. Anyway, enough about all that. Aren't you here to investigate the case? You'd better get a move on.
Yikes! He ate all kinds of stuff. Come to think of it, Shiroyama was a forensic doctor. He could easily pull off something like this. Hey, this is the key to proving that Shiroyama was the murderer, right? That is, if he was telling the truth, of course. Tsukasa Isamu seems like a thoughtful person, but something about the tone sounds weird. So Shiroyama's conviction was also signed by Kujo-Sara, just like Ryuji's. A synthetic toxin? What's that? Huh? That's weird. There's nothing here. This must be some of the false information that Heizou told us to look out for. Wow. Ryuji's... Wow. Ryuji's conviction really was signed by Kujo-Sara. But now we know she had it wrong.
So, what did you find? Have you come to a conclusion? Really? You found the criminal's motive and means that quickly? Awesome. All right, let's talk about the motive first. What clue reveals the criminal's motive? Excellent work! According to the victim's message, the two had deep conflicts. Although we cannot confirm whether the poison had been requested by the victim or not, it is true that Isamu used Shiroyama's family to blackmail him. Such circumstances could be enough motive for Shiroyama to commit the crime.
But wasn't Tsukasa Isamu good to Shiroyama? He even went to Shiroyama's house to bring health supplements. But maybe he didn't really bring health supplements. Maybe it was something bad.
Is that what you think, Paimon? Well, we later found out that what Tsukasa Isamu sent to Shiroyama's house was indeed health supplements. But if you consider the circumstances, what he sent wasn't important. What was important is that sending the supplements was actually a dangerous signal. Isamu was essentially implying, I can put anything in your wife's supplements at any time. If you really care about her safety, then get me what I want.
So scary! Your assumption sounds like a real threat! You're not really that dark inside, are you?
You don't really catch criminals by standing in the light, do you? Basically, these two clues work to verify each other, and the murderer's motive is confirmed. Now, all that's left is the means of the crime.